You've mentioned auto quotes a few times.
Yes.
What niches do you find that it works the best in?
I mean, we're seeing matchmaking for something like live links, auto quotes, health quotes work well, insurance. We've got some sale products. Tech support is another one. It works. Basically, it will potentially work across the board for anybody that's looking to receive calls. So, we've got campaigns that are as specific as, find a plumber, find an electrician, ADT, DirecTV, telecom services, that sort of stuff. I guess the only thing it, generally wouldn't work for is like a download product or an app install, right?
Okay, so something that has to be finished online, it's not going to really.
Yeah, right.
So what about the demographics of the people that normally call? Like we've mentioned old school a few times. Is it an older demographic that's more drawn to this, or are you finding the younger demographics are also calling?
The younger demographic is definitely calling as well. It may skew a little higher on some of the other campaigns, depending on the vertical, but everybody really is calling. So I don't think that it's something that's going to trend downwards. I think everybody's going to continue to call. And again, it comes down to the immediacy of what you're calling about. If you need something now, calling is going to be a lot faster than waiting for an email response or a call back.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned that the advertiser only pays on the calls, the successful calls. So then the publishers, the affiliates, I would imagine that they only get payout on the successful calls as well?
Yeah, and that determination of what is a successful call can vary, but generally what we look to do is provide the publishers with a campaign that converts on a duration, and that duration is in a range of about 1 to 3 minutes. We found that anything below that doesn't really seem to work out for the advertisers, and anything higher than that is just not appealing to publishers. So generally it converts on a duration, and it can also convert on a key press. So caller called up, pressed key 1, and stayed on the line for over 2 minutes. That's a conversion. And so it works quite well for publishers because they just need calls that last a certain duration. And then we also need to make sure with the advertisers that we're taking care of the quality of the calls that we send, because we don't want to send calls that are unqualified that last over 2 minutes. So we kind of coach them and excuse me, get them to work on their call center to make sure that when they're receiving these calls, don't speak to someone who's unqualified for over 2 minutes, because you're going to pay for that. So those first few minutes, that first minute is key to get those qualifying questions out of the way and ensure that this is a good qualified call that you're going to want to pay for.
Okay, cool. So what types of sites are typically the publishers that you're using right now?
Generally, most of the traffic is coming from mobile search, because that's a big driver. So the sites that they're using are typically just landing pages that they can get a good quality score on Google with. So they need to be relevant to the keywords they're using, relevant to the campaign. Outside of that, we see some app traffic. Publishers should just buy display traffic across the board. And then we do have some guys who have their own sites. Maybe they're getting some SEO traffic, and in that case, it's credit repair, financial services, insurance type campaigns that drive those. Okay.
Does the advertiser get to choose where their ads show up, and do the publishers get to choose what ads appear on their websites?
Yes, absolutely. So each campaign comes with a set of criteria of what's allowed, what's not allowed. Many times advertisers will give us a list of keywords that they don't want advertised on, or terms they don't want used. Like they might not be able to say free, or they can't use these set terms. And they'll say, which sites, like we don't want our campaign listed on a directory site, we don't want you listed on these types of sites. And we have a full set of terms and service to ensure that publishers aren't putting these on high-risk sites as well, because advertisers won't be happy with that kind of exposure, especially if they've got a big brand. And publishers, they come in and they pick and choose. They find the best offers that work for for them, and they can consult with their account manager here at Ring Partner to figure out what's likely to be the best converting campaign for them. So they absolutely get to pick and choose what they like.
Okay, so speaking of the best converting campaigns, what kind of analytics do you offer, both to the advertisers and to the affiliates, the publishers?
Sure. So we use a system called Invoca, which formerly was called Ring Revenue. So it's got a full set of tracking. You can go in there and see tracking down to, like almost like a sub ID. It's not a sub ID in the traditional sense, but it's a promo number that they can take and place in their advertising. And then that tracks all of the conversions, the duration of the calls, and in some cases they may gain access to actually listen to some of those calls. So they get a full set of analytics. And one of the things that makes Ring Partner different, being 100% focused on pay-per-call, is that we're building a front-end system which we call Ring Partner Switchboard, where we're pulling in the stats and we'll be able to display it uniquely for publishers' specific needs. So if they want to report that does something very specific, so they can get some deeper insights into their campaigns, at Ring Partner we'll be able to provide that for them.
Okay, so you spoke a little bit earlier about some tips that advertisers could use, the type of call to action, the type of offer, what basically works well with this. Now, what about on the publisher side? What kind of tips do you have so that they can make the most of this and make the most money off putting these ads on their website?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest things is searching for niches. The advertisers, obviously, they work directly. They have bigger margins, so they can advertise on those 1 and 2 word keywords. Whereas a publisher, they've really got to dig into the niches and find those verticals that are less competitive and cheaper clicks, so that they can potentially drive in some calls and have the economics of the advertising campaign work out. So you've really got to dig a little deeper instead of just thinking about, hey, I'll advertise on the term cash advance. Need to think a little bit outside the box, and maybe I should advertise on a pawn shop and potentially pitch them on getting a cash advance instead. So it's just a little bit, getting deeper into those niche markets and getting a little deeper. Geo-targeting is another one that helps as well. So if you can go a little deeper and find keywords for, find an auto insurance provider in New York rather than find an auto insurance provider at the national level, and that's just going to help the publisher actually get some metrics that work, so they can bid that much lower.
Okay, so you think the publisher should focus on the long tail, basically?
Yes, exactly, and because it's mobile, you may not be able to put in a 6 keyword phrase that's going to be cheaper but highly targeted, because I don't really feel like consumers are going to search for 6 words on their phone. So it's really important that they find the niche within that, and then try to find 2 to 4 word keywords that are more niche targeted.
Okay, so focus on the medium tail.
Yeah, somewhere in there. It's the medium mobile tail, and that's the thing too, is focus on mobile clicks, right? It's click to call that's driving all of this, so do what you can to get mobile traffic, and mobile traffic is just growing so rapidly. We hear about it every day, so it's not something new, but that's where you're going to get the best results from. And not that desktop doesn't work, but just for click to call, it's a little, I don't want to say easier, but it's a little simpler for the conversion to happen.
Okay. So how do people get started, both as an affiliate and as an advertiser?
As an affiliate, they can sign up at Ring Partner. You can just go to ringpartner.com and click on the sign up button. We do call all of our applicants and do a little bit of a review with them, make sure that they know what they're doing and get them started with the system. So there's a process there, but hopefully we can get them approved in 1 to 2 days. If they're looking to get started as an advertiser, they can email us at contact@ringpartner.com, and someone will reach out to them pretty quickly after they send that email in. They can also call us as well. I mean, we're in the business of calls, so they should be able to call us, and they can call us at 1-888-656-3726 and speak with someone, hopefully immediately.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, Mike. I think you've helped people a lot understand how they can use this technology, both as an advertiser and affiliate, and it's been very informative. Thank you.
Great, yeah, thanks. I'm happy to join, and I'm happy to be part of the ride that's kind of going on with pay-per-call right now, and just looking forward to growing more as the mobile industry and the pay-per-call industry grows as well.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to just get bigger.
Yes, that's our that's our hope. So.